Bum 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 ooh, bum 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 da 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 da. I do believe I will receive. We just have to know and then let it be so with a little time and a lot of peace of mind. It will be yours and mine if we can find. I do believe I will receive. We have to know and then let it be so with peace of mind and a little time. If it's for our highest good, it will be yours and mine. If it's for our highest good, it will be yours and mine. For our highest good, yeah, it will be yours. And it will be mine. Good morning, Unity on the Rockies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning on this beautiful day. Welcome. I'm Carol Crosley, and I'm your platform assistant today. And welcome to everyone here in our sanctuary and also on Zoom. Thank you for joining us today at our Unity Spiritual Center in the Rockies. Today's guest musician is Karen Karsh. And we, as you know, we've had Karen before, and she obviously is one of our guests here at Unity and centers for spiritual living and other popular venues around town.
Around town.
That's actually in the script. Karen's vocals are smooth, rich, and deep. She sings from the soul and rattles the rafters. Check her out on YouTube Music as well as Apple Music. She is currently the music director at New Dawn Center for Spiritual Living in Aurora.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. We're going to do it one more time. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
Thank you, Karen. We would like to share our inclusivity statement with you. Unity in the Rockies is an inclusive community. We welcome all people, races, gender identities, and relational orientations. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. Now for a mission statement. Please join me in affirming our mission statement. We are an inclusive spiritual community where we recognize and express our oneness with our Creator and all creation. Today's announcements. We're hiring. We're looking for a part-time music director and part-time facilities coordinator. And please email your background and resume to unityrockies.org. Sacred Women's Circle, New Moon Oracle Gathering. Join us this Saturday, October 14th, from 3 to 4 p.m. in Fellowship Hall to come together to bring in the new moon, a time for new beginnings. And you can contact River at 719-233-4341 for more information. And she's here today. Westside Cares Thanksgiving dinner program. You're invited to support their annual Thanksgiving dinner program through the purchase of King Soopers gift cards or contribute funds for the purchase of gift cards. Contributions must be received by October 29th, and you can see the e-blast for more information. Tuned In Workshop with Molly Lord on November 11th and 12th from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Cheyenne Canyon Inn. You'll learn how music and behavior patterns intertwines to shape your mood, body cells, and spirit. The cost is $135, but it includes lunch and refreshments. Again, see the e-blast or pick up a flyer for more information, including the registration link. Bingo opportunities. We're looking for volunteers to help us on Wednesdays at Carefree Bingo. For more information, contact Don Turner at 719-331-9847 or his email. Unity Spiritual Center cookbook sales continue, and cookbooks are available to purchase after service. Stop by the cookbook table in the foyer. And the flowers today are lovingly provided by Carol Crossley and Charlotte Wilson for gratitude. We are so grateful for our loving spiritual community and all the blessings and gifts we have received. And today, the guest speaker is our beloved Rick Finbow.
Yay!
And now, welcome to the Light on the Mesa.
Ooh, live your dreams. Ooh, live your dreams. Ooh, live your dreams. Sometimes, do you feel lost in the shuffle? I do, wondering all the voices all around you. They say it's too late, you've sealed your fate. Well, I don't believe that's true. That's not something I can believe. As long as we live and breathe, and we keep our eyes on the sun, there's a dream for everyone. Live your dreams, you will find happiness. You will thrive, feel alive, you'll be so blessed. Live your dreams, that's what we're here on earth to do. Isn't that true? Live your dreams, that's how you'll know your truth. Live your dreams, live your dreams. Do you ever feel like you're standing in front of a closing door? Well, I understand, I've been where you are. Been there before. But if we take it step by step, minute by minute, Put your heart and soul in it, and keep your eyes on the sun. There's a dream for everyone. Live your dreams, you will find happiness. You'll feel alive, you will thrive, and we'll all be so blessed. Live your dreams, that's what we're here to do, me and you. Live your dreams, that's how you're gonna find your truth. So if you have a song, come on and sing it. If you want to paint a picture for the world, bring it. You can play a sweet tennis game, parachute right out of a plane. Live your dreams, you'll find happiness. You'll be alive, you'll feel like you thrive, and blessed you will be. That's what we want to do, me and you. If you live your dreams, that's how you'll find your truth. That's how you find your truth. If you live your dreams, that's how you find your truth. Live your dreams, me and you.
Alrighty, I'll try to do a little better this time with the sound. What is that? Did I turn it on?
It's on.
Oh.
Well, I heard it in the monitor anyway.
Okay. Alrighty, maybe I just need to be a little closer. All right, thank you. Good morning. I'm Rhett Kurgis. I'm one of your prayer chaplains today. We have a number of them joining us today, but Carol and I will be praying with you afterwards if you would like to. Today I'm reading from the Daily Word, and today's word is together, and it's Sunday, October 8th. The presence of God unites us as the work, play, and pray together. Joining with others to work makes the job easier. Joining together for fun multiplies the enjoyment. The camaraderie, cooperation, and support of togetherness give me a boost and brighten my mood. The indwelling Christ presence is alive in people everywhere. When I work, play, pray with others, something greater than the sum of our individual efforts and insights result. The divine love that binds us multiplies us. We recognize in our one another and give it fuller expression in ourselves. Work becomes more productive, play more enjoyable, and prayer more fulfilling. Together we produce more good work and feel more joy and happiness than any of us could accomplish on our own. Today's verse is Matthew 18:20, and it is awesome for us to be together today. And the verse is, where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I am there among them. And today we have many more. Thank you.
Thank you, Rhett. Good morning. So last week, David told you about one of my mantras. And one of my mantras is that I love to say to the universe is, universe, surprise and delight me. Well, surprise, I'm the speaker today. And I am delighted to be here. So thank you. Yes. David was called away, and we didn't get the call till late last night. So he asked me if I would step in, and I am delighted that he asked me, and I'm very excited to go over our AIP, Adventures in Prosperity, Week 4. But before we start, let's just do a little bit of grounded meditation. So if you just get comfortable in your seats, close your eyes lightly, and we'll begin. Take a deep breath in and release. Release the busyness of the day. Release of anything that you thought might have been. And just know that you are in a safe and secure place with friends. And just be in that moment. Be right here, right now. Be in the place of gratitude and openness, and knowing that we will share and learn together on this beautiful day. And one of the things we'll be speaking of today for this week is love. I am love. You are loved. We are love. And we move into this day with excitement that the adventure continues. Adventures in prosperity. I am so blessed. We are so blessed. And we anchor this by saying together, and so it is. Thank you. I feel better. So week 4 of our Adventures in Prosperity takes us to chapter 10, 11, and 12. And our color of the week is green. I have my money socks on. Money is green. So I'm going to speak to that of the green. Here it is here. Green corresponds with the heart, the circulatory system, arms and hands. Green balance is compassionate, forgiving, accepting, nurturing, generous, harmonious, and contented. Green is I love. This is the color of balance and harmony. From a color psychology perspective, it is the great balancer of the heart and the emotions, creating equilibrium between the head and the heart. I love. That's all we need. That's who we are. That's where we come from. And really, that's all we need today, every day, and everything will be fine. So we start off on week 10, chapter 10, the 3 steps to whatever you want to be, do, or have. Who knew there's only 3 steps? So step 1, as according to Abraham and Esther and Jerry Hicks, is step 1 is your work. And your work is to ask. You ask. Now, you would think that would be easy, correct? But see, Abraham teaches us that even when we ask, we need to make sure that we're asking for what we want and not what we don't want. Okay? So, and a lot of times we hear tapes in our minds or we have these thoughts that kind of bubble up. And I'll use this as far as Adventures in Prosperity. I would love, and I know that I'm going to win that 1.4 billion in the Powerball. I bought 10 tickets, and when I go home, I'm going to check it. And I want to win that. But the first thing that comes to my mind, my thought, is that's only 625 million, because that's after taxes. So I have this thing going on in my head that says, wow, you have to pay taxes. I'm not focusing on what good I can do with the 1.4 billion. You know, it's like, okay, so that's where my mind goes. So I need to change that, right? I need to really focus on what good I can do with all of that money, with 1.4 billion, which equals 625 million. I can do a lot with that. And I'll share it all with you, okay? Make sure I know who's here today. So ask the right questions. A lot of times, even in my work as a psychic or a life coach, I have to help people form the questions, because a lot of times they don't even know how to form the question. And most of the time, what I do is help them say, is this in my highest and best? Yeah. So when they're saying, is this home that I'm having to make a decision about whether I should buy it or not, is this in my highest and best? When you say that, you get the answer, okay? And then on to step 2, and this is not your work, the universe answers. So you ask, the universe answers. Now, how hard is that? To let the universe answer? Because we want to go, wait a minute, I'd really like this color car or that color car. Instead of, we should just be saying, I want a car that is safe, that is secure. And you heard last week that one of our cars was stolen. It was the one that I use principally. So it was stolen out of the Colorado Mills parking lot. Yes, I was only in the store an hour, from 3 to 4 in the afternoon. And I came out, and honestly, when I always park in the same place, I knew where I parked. I actually parked by a tree, and I said that tree might have more shade when I get out. So I did it around Colorado Mills is a mile. I did the round. I bought some new sneakers. I went in for a coat. I ended up with 2 pairs of sneakers. And the universe has a sense of humor. Maybe you could use those sneakers when you have to run home, because the car was gone when I went out. And being the age that I'm at, the first thought I had was, oh my God, am I losing my mind because I can't remember where I parked my car? But I knew I parked that car where it was. So I went around the parking lot first with my fob, just trying to make it sound so I could find it, and it wasn't anywhere. So I called David, he was home, and I said, can you come pick me up? I think my car was stolen. And the first thought that I had, though, that ran through my head with that, and it wasn't through my head, it was through my heart, that this is going to work out in my favor, that somehow I'm going to make money or get a new car. Those were the first thoughts. It wasn't about, I didn't feel, a loss. I didn't feel violated like some people do. And I realized I'm not really even attached to that car. So some of the stuff in it my Ray-Bans, and, but it's like I didn't even notice that till the day after. So that is when I called mall security. They helped. They did a scan of the lot. The car was gone. So that was good to know. They also told me that there's cameras, but the cameras don't work.
Oh,
Great.
Oh, no.
Good to know. So, thank you. So, but through the whole thing, everybody was so nice. Everybody was wonderful. The security guard, who was all of at least 20, I think, and she was lovely, gave us the police number to call for non-emergency. Called the police. They were nice. Everybody was nice. I got in the car, like David said last week. I got in the car with him, and I said, universe, surprise and delight me. I didn't say, poor me, I lost my car. Nothing about that. And then I started to think, well, what kind of car would I want? And for some reason, I have always wanted a green Subaru Forester. The only reason why I wanted that is because I have heard forever that they're good in the snow. And I think we're going to have a pretty tough winter as far as snow goes. And I'm a great driver in the snow because that's how I learned. I grew up in Boston, but I don't like to drive in the snow. Okay? So it's like, okay, with the Subaru Forester, that will make me feel secure. And that's what this is about. We want to impress upon the universe how it feels in order to get what we want also. That's what Abraham teaches. So all we need to do is let that happen. And that is step 3. Step 3 is the answer which has been given must be received or allowed. You have to let it in. So a lot of times we ask for things like a new job, and this job shows up. Oh, I didn't even think of that. The universe says, hey, maybe it's over here. Maybe it's something I didn't think about. Maybe it's something that I should try that's new, and it might take you out of your comfort zone. Oh, no. So we're here to learn, grow, and expand, not stay the same. And we can't stay the same. Change is happening all the time. And there's a couple influencers on YouTube that I follow, and they are saying scientifically that we are changing. The change in our lives is happening 200 times faster a day than it used to 20 years ago. And it feels like that sometimes, doesn't it? It feels like things are changing so rapidly.
It does.
And they are, but also it's because we are in the information age. Abraham teaches we are at the leading edge of thought. That's what that means, the leading edge of thought. We're creators, and we're creating through our thought, and then it comes into the physical world. So we've already, this is what I like to call myself, a optimistic futurist. I'm excited about what's happening. I'm excited about the changes that are coming. And because I can tap into seeing where people are headed and helping people with that. And the other day I had a 20-year-old client, and she asked, where am I going to be? How is life going to be in 2035? And I saw how it was going to be, and it was wonderful, and it was different. And she didn't even live here. So it's going to be different for her. Her future looked like she was living in a community. Okay? And it had a dome over it. And she wasn't in the United States. She was in Europe. And when I told her that, she was very excited about it. We get what we think about. So somehow she must be manifesting not living here, but living in Europe. And so in order for me to see that was so great, because a lot of times we get bogged down with the news of the day. I mean, the news of the day just in the last couple of days it can be horrific. And we need to realize also, this isn't about Abraham, this is me speaking now, I'm just letting it come. So please indulge me. That we live in these amazing times, and the news is set up to be negative. And just realize that as much negative that they can find, they're finding the most negative pictures, the most negative thoughts, the most negative feelings, and portraying that to us, because scientifically, if we leave our minds alone, they will tend to go negative. So they have a captive audience. That's why people watch the news. It's like drama. Like, okay, yeah. So if you do watch the news, know that anything that they're showing is negative, there's just as much positive. It has to be that way because we live in a world of balance. We live in a place where the earth is spinning on this axis that we don't even think about every day. It's amazing that we're on this planet. It's amazing that we have gravity to keep us here. It's amazing that we don't worry about that, right? We don't worry about, oh, the earth might spin off its axis, right? So, and why don't we? Because it won't happen, because there's balance. And somehow, somewhere in our heart, in our minds and thoughts too, that place from mind to heart is just 12 inches, that we know that we're safe, that it's not going to happen, okay? So, and that's because there's balance everywhere. And Abraham teaches us that there's two sides to everything. There's two sides to every question. There's two sides to every answer. And we need to make sure or train ourselves into being positive, because it's easy to go negative. It's right there. Just turn on the TV. It's right there. And the things that people watch on TV, I'm very cautious about what I watch. I'm very cautious about what I put into my mind, into my emotions. You know, I very rarely, David loves to go to the movies, and I very rarely go with him because there aren't that many feel-good movies. Luckily, we just had a feel-good movie that's like a blockbuster, is Barbie. Did anybody see that? Like, Barbie is amazing. Yes, it's good for men and women. There's messages, lots of messages, and it's a feel-good movie. The first feel-good movie we've had in a long time, and the first feel-good movie in over like 30 years that is a blockbuster. It's breaking all box office, you know, the finances for box office. It's amazing. A Barbie movie. I love that. That makes me feel good, you know? And I want to say, like, Karen Carr, she is just amazing. We're so lucky to have her. And yes. And her song, Living Your Dreams. And we have her husband here, Trail, with her, and her dog, Herbie. And we're so blessed to have them. And look at the positivity in these people. You know, all you need to do is look at others. Don't look at the news, look at others. Look at the person you're sitting next to. This is a loving community. I love you all. It's easy for me to get up here and talk to you because I trust that there's trust there and that you're listening and you're learning and we're learning together. So let me get back to where I was. Sorry. I was up all night writing crib notes. So I'm like, okay, I just need crib notes. So in the book, Ask and It Is Given, that's the book that we're working through. There are also, and in the workbook that we use, let me get that for a minute. This is the workbook that we're working out of, and we still have some if you want one. After the chapter 10, as it does, we have some affirmations. So I'd like you to say these affirmations after me. Let me tell you what they are, and then we'll say them together. Anything you give your attention to will become your truth. Anything you give your attention to will become your truth. Great. The next one. Once you expect something, it will come. Once you expect something, it will come. Thank you. The last one, learn to pay attention to your feelings. Learn to pay attention to your feelings. Thank you. You did a great job. No, I've been places where they don't join me.
Good leadership.
Thank you, thank you. So in chapter 11, it says, with practice, you will become a joyous, deliberate creator. I thought that was going to be easy. A joyous, deliberate creator, right? Practice, and it means pay attention to your emotions. And a practice, this is interesting to me. So we call our things like healing practices, anything that is a practice. Doctors have a practice. Isn't that interesting? Doctors have a practice. Lawyers have a practice. Reiki masters have a practice. Psychics have a practice. Because the more you do it, the better you get at it. And who do you want to go to when you're in poor health? Do you want to go to a doctor that just out of med school? Or do you want to go to a doctor that has been 20 years in the profession? We'd all pick this. Although you could think this person knows all the best stuff because they just came out of school, right? So it's, again, two sides to everything, okay? So Same thing. But we need to practice that. We need to practice. With practice, we'll become joyous, deliberate creators. So that we're practicing, it's a practice. You never get it done either. And Abraham teaches that about passing on. You never get it done, so there's no rush. There's no, immediacy of learning this. These are lifelong lessons for all of us. It's excellent. And then in chapter 12, your emotional set points are within your control. And in this chapter, it talks about what the emotional set points are and whose truth is your truth. Because we grow up and we have things in our heads, we have these repeating things in our heads that somebody told us. And we really need to step back and say, is this my truth or is this their truth? So as an example, around money. So when I was growing up, I learned that I had this money came and went. It was, definitely flowing, definitely circulating. I can create money whenever I want to, but I wasn't able to save. And you know where that came from? My parents told me that money burned a hole in my pocket. Has anybody else been told that?
Yeah.
Money burns a hole in my pocket? Or anything about money, okay? The reason why I'm using money is because I have money socks on. And it is about adventures and prosperity, but it's also, money is an energy. Money is an energy, and when you love money, you will have money, and you'll take care of money, and it'll take care of you. It's a reciprocal thing. It's a flow, and it's not less spiritual than anything. It's an energy, okay? So the talk about the energy of money, if I have that going in my head, money burns a hole in my pocket, I won't be able to save. I won't be able to have money that I can keep. So I've changed that as I got older into my pockets are lined with money. Isn't that nice? It even feels better because we're talking about the emotions of how you feel. It feels good. So whatever feels good, you want to change. Whatever you have going on, the tapes in your head, and you say, those are negative. I must have learned that from somebody. Is it my truth? If it's not, change it. Change it to make it something that feels good. My pockets are lined with money. So let me go back to the order of service here. David was nice enough, and he had time to highlight what the order of service was and what my points were. Thank you, David. So, as we move forward with the book, Asking It Is Given, and Abraham Hicks, some of you may have not even known what a channeled work of art is or was. And Esther Hicks believes that she's channeling Abraham, which is consciousness, like a super consciousness, what we call God or source or the universe. I like to use the universe because that's universal for everybody. You know, we're all trying to be politically correct, and you can't be politically correct all the time. So cut yourself some slack. You know, it's like all you need to be is loving. Come from that place of I am love, I am loved. Goes back to that all the time. That's the thread of truth in every religion. I love the world's religions, and I believe that every religion has a thread of truth through it. And that truth is love. No matter what it looks like, no matter what it feels like for those people, love. Love. And when we have that, that's when we can all live in peace, right? But Abraham teaches us that there's negative and positive, just like a battery. So little battery, right, has a positive and a negative. If there's not a positive and a negative, you don't have energy. Isn't that interesting? So there will never be a time that we know that will be all peaceful because it doesn't give us the contrast. Can you imagine if everything was good? When we chose to come to this planet. I really do believe we have a choice, and we chose to come to this planet and be born into this life. And what if we came into this life and everything was great? Got everything you wanted in the moment that you thought about it, no gestation period, oh my God, we wouldn't be able to last longer than a day because we'd have so much stuff, right? Yeah, because we'd manifest all this stuff. We'd be on a pile of stuff. And that's what it would be. It would be stuff. So like, we can say, oh, we'd love the world to be peaceful. We'd love the world to be great. We'd love everything to work out. And it does if you practice focusing on the positive, if you practice focusing on what you want and allowing the universe to bring it to you in the perfect time. Divine time is a lot different than your timing, my timing, right? I want it now. We haven't heard about the car yet. Now it's been 2 weeks. I don't want the car back. Who knows where it is, right? And I trust the universe. If it's meant to be that I get the car back, it'll come back and it'll be perfect. And the insurance will pay for it. I'm so lucky I have insurance. I'm so lucky that I have a $500 deductible. You know, that's not much. So when it comes down to it. So it's like just being in that divine space of everything's working out. I have a RAV4 out there. As you leave, see the black RAV4 out there where it says the minister parking. That's where I parked. That's my rental car that the insurance company said I have $40 a day. And I went to Enterprise and they said, we are so short on cars, we're giving you this upgrade of a RAV4, which is about the same size as what I had. I had a Kia Sportage. Now, as soon as I say Kia, everybody goes, we know that that's easy to break into. So yes, right? I didn't know that. That wasn't part of my consciousness. I still have no idea why that car was stolen, yet. But I know that eventually I will get the idea and the feeling and the information of why that was stolen, and I know it will be good. And I'm just saying that I'm really feeling that I will be getting a new car out of this. So it's just how it works. I've practiced that a long time. That's why David said, he told me, I said, are you sure you want me to speak today? He said, who else is better to speak about Abraham Hicks? I've been listening to them forever, and I believe in the teachings, and I teach the teachings. So it's amazing that this has even happened. And like I said, surprise, yeah, this is a surprise for me too, but I am delighted. I'm delighted that he asked me. I'm delighted to be in front of you. I see your smiling faces. That makes me feel good. Karen is always smiling. Look at her. She's smiling right now, right? It's like,
I love it here.
yes,
I love you.
yes. I love it here too. We all should love it here, and just really realize that. We are in a safe space. We are with our friends. We are with our tribe. And we're creating that tribe as we go along. David and I have only been here just about a year now. Hasn't it been just about a year? So, and it's like lots of changes, and you have helped him change the things that needed to be changed, and there's still more change to come, and you have an amazing board, and you have all these amazing volunteers and ushers and chaplains, and when I see that, it's like amazing. The church before this that David was in, I probably shouldn't speak out of school, but it was not like that. It was not like this. Bless them. And so fortunate that David found this church and you found David. I am grateful. So, and I just love looking at all of your faces, and I love being here. And that's why this is a growing community. Do you know how many churches are not growing? How many churches are closing their doors? Yes. Even the UU church that was here that used to rent the space at 3 o'clock, they had to close their doors, and they went to another Unity church that was bigger and joined them. But they couldn't sustain it. You sustained it throughout the pandemic. So there's something in your, yes.
Really.
Give yourselves a round of applause, because the pandemic did an amazing thing to everybody, especially churches, and a lot of people didn't come back, and they haven't come back yet, and they're not growing. But this church is growing, and you can see it and you can feel it. And yes, there is some growing pains. Of course there's going to be growing pains. But you're figuring it out together, and David's the greatest person to do that with you. He wants to do it with you, not for you. And just trust that that's the right way to go, because I trust that. So, Let me think if there's anything else I'd like to tell you, share with you. Abraham Hicks teaches that we are infinite. Our energy goes on and on. Our consciousness goes on and on. So if we release these biodegradable flesh suits, that's what David calls them, we go on. Your consciousness goes on. And I'm just going to tell you what I believe, and this you can take with a grain of salt. You don't have to believe it if you don't want. But because I've been reading for people for over 43 years, and I can speak to the other side through mediumship, I allow that to come in, is that I very rarely, maybe twice out of 43 years, have been able to tap into some human that has reincarnated. Because usually it takes humans lifetimes to reincarnate, because our consciousness goes on, those thoughts go on, we're still learning, we're still growing, even on the other side. Now, animals like Herbie, dogs especially, cats, they can come back right away, because they want to come back if they had a good time. Yep. So that's why you might know somebody that says, I know this cat is my dog from earlier. Yes, you can see it in their soul. You can see it in their eyes. You can feel it. That happens. Because if they had a good time, they want to come back and they want to find you again. They want to find that energy, and usually they will. But humans, we have that consciousness, super consciousness, and we're always saying, why, how, where. We're still learning, we're still growing, even on the other side. And then you get to decide whether you want to come back or not. I really feel, honestly, my thought and feeling about that for myself, not for anybody else, but for myself, is that when I come back, it won't be to this planet. It'll be another planet. But I have looked into my past lives too. I believe in reincarnation. Whether you do or don't, there's no right or wrong. So I know where I came from. I know some of the lifetimes that I've had and some of the lessons, and I'm still learning those lessons. That's one of the reasons why I love the desert, because I know I was in the desert for 40 years, wandering through the desert, So I love the desert more than any other landscape, and it's interesting to me because I grew up in Boston. I live here. I love Arizona. I love Aruba, both deserts. I go to Hawaii, not so much. It's not a desert. So, and that's all about feeling. I don't vibrate with Hawaii for some reason. David does. He'd love to move there. I'm like, why do I not love it? I like it, not love with it. So just listening to your intuition, that's what this is all about too. Listening to how things feel. If you make decisions and choices by how it feels, and you're focusing on, do I want balance? Then I need to make a decision on, will this bring me balance? Do I want love? Will this bring me love? Will this make me feel secure? Will this make me feel secure? So when you're asking the question, ask how it feels, and ask of yourself, what feeling do I want that to feel? So whenever we're manifesting something, even money or a car or anything, a relationship, you want to focus on what you want that feeling to be when that person or that thing comes into your life, because that's what we're really after, is the feeling that it's going to bring. So if you want a relationship, my best practice or teaching is for you to feel what that relationship you want to feel like. So if you want a loving, caring, open, honest relationship, feel into how that's going to feel even before it comes, and then you'll attract that person with the same vibration of that, and that'll be a good match. And let me tell you also something that I've learned about soulmates. Soulmates come into our lives to show us who we can become, not be perfect. Soulmates teach us who we are becoming, and you're teaching that person who they're becoming also. So soulmates can be like this, And that's a good thing because you're learning, growing, and expanding. Whenever you hear somebody, we have a perfect relationship, no such thing. Because if you have a perfect relationship, one of you will have to go away because you're not learning, growing, and expanding. So I'll leave you with that thought. We're learning, growing, and expanding. And even though we have a lot of contrast is what makes this world go on. Contrast is what we need in order to have the balance. And we're going to focus on being more balanced and being more safe and being more loving, because that's the practice we want to teach and we want to live. I am love. I am loved. Take that with you and know that, because you are. And you can feel it in this room.
Yeah.
So, moving on. Got to get back to my highlighted order of service. It's time for our offering. So if the ushers would come forward. And our offering, we can do it in person, by check, by website, by text to give, 719-888-3423. Has anybody tried that text? Text to give. Yes, Dawn. Yes, it works. Nice. Great. So if you'd give us some music to go along with this. Thank you, Karen. And we'll say our, let me see, our abundance affirmation, if you'd say that with me. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Ooh, now I get to actually sing.
Yes. One of my favorite songs.
I know a place where dreams are born and time is never planned. It's not on any chart. You must find it in your heart. Never, never land. It might be miles beyond the moon. It could be right here where we stand. Just keep an open mind. Suddenly you'll find it. Never, never land. You'll find a treasure if you stay here, more precious far than gold. And once you find your way here, you will never, never grow old. And that's the way the dreams are born, and time is never planned. Just think of lovely things, and your heart will fly on wings to never, never land. You'll find a treasure if you stay here, more precious far than gold. And once you find your way here, you will never, never grow old. And that's the way the dreams are born, and time is never planned. Just think of lovely things. Let your heart fly on wings to never, ever land. Just think of lovely things. Let your heart fly on wings to never, never land.
Woo! Very nice. Thank you. So if the ushers, Pat and Beth, would come forward. And we bless these ties. Thank you, our tribe, our community. We bless these tides and energy. And we know that it's reciprocal and it's gently flowing for all of us. The prosperity in our lives, adventures in prosperity. And so it is. Thank you. Now let's bless the children. Let's rub our hands together. And now we offer a blessing for our children. Do you have that on a... There we are. Here's our children's blessing. You are loved, special, and important. We see you and bless the divine beings you are. And now if you'll join me in the song, You Are the Face of God.
You are the face of God. Yes. We hold you in our hearts. You are a part of me. You know it's true. You are the face of God. Look at somebody that you love and say that. You are the face of God. You are. I hold you in my heart. I do. You are a part of us. You are the face of God.
Very nice. So next we have our prayer for protection. Here it is. Join me. The light of God surrounds us. I am that light. The love of God enfolds us. I am that love. The power of God protects us. I am that power. The presence of God watches over us. I am that presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Closing announcements. I want to thank you all for being here today. I want to thank our musician friend here, lovely Karen Karsh, and her husband Trail for driving, and Herbie for taking her along her way too. Yes. And thank you for being here, Karen.
You looked at him, didn't you?
I did, and
Yeah.
he looked back.
Yeah, I know.
He's like, somebody said my name.
Yeah.
I love that. So don't forget that we have community breaking of bread in the fellowship hall. Please join us with that because we have some great volunteers that have done work with that. Jackie and Donna, and bless them in that. That's a great thing, yes. They can hear that in the fellowship hall. They were already there getting ready for that. So at this time, we ask that you can stay in your rows. You can stand if you're able. and join hands as we do our Let There Be Peace on Earth song.
Let's give Reverend Rick a hand, please. He was wonderful today.
Thank you, thank you.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that is meant to be. With God as creator, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.